Joey is panicking, and I think the Duprees are about to make the biggest mistake of their lives. I'm sorry, but does anyone else feel like Beyond the Gates just quietly revealed who the Impaler really is without actually saying it out loud? Because the more I think about Joey, the more I feel like the show is basically screaming at us, look at this man! And honestly, I have not been able to calm down since putting all these pieces together. Like, let me process this with you guys for a second because my brain is still spinning. We already saw Elon helping Jacob bring down the plasma trafficking organization. Jacob truly believed this operation would finally expose the Impaler. That's the important part. Jacob wasn't just chasing some random criminal network anymore. He thought this case would lead directly to the monster behind everything. And then suddenly, Leah gets questioned by Marcel. Leah, not Joey. And that right there feels way too convenient for me. Because the second suspicion started moving toward Leah, Joey became strangely quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes me nervous. The kind of quiet soap villains have right before they throw somebody else under the bus and walk away smiling. I swear, this man operates like a human jump scare. But now I think Joey is cornered. And when Joey gets cornered, he doesn't panic like a normal person. No. Joey manipulates. Joey bargains. Joey blackmails. Joey burns the whole room down before letting himself lose. That's why I think the favor he had with the Duprees is finally coming back into play. Because why would the show spend so much time establishing that Vernon owed Joey something if it wasn't going to explode later? Come on. This is soap opera law. Nothing gets mentioned for no reason. And if Joey is truly about to be arrested or even close to exposure, then of course he's going to cash in that favor immediately. But here's where it gets insane. I think Joey is going to force Vernon to save him by threatening to expose Martin for Kenny's death. Yeah, that part. The second that idea clicked in my head, I literally had to pause and stare at the wall because suddenly everything made sense. Joey has always acted like a man who knows too much. Too confident, too protected, too comfortable around dangerous secrets. And if he's been holding the Martin Kenny situation over Vernon this entire time, then Vernon is trapped. Absolutely trapped. And the worst part, Vernon might actually do it. That's what scares me the most. Because Vernon is the type of man who will convince himself he's protecting the family while actively making everything worse. He'll justify it. He'll rationalize it. He'll say there's no other choice. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here screaming at my screen like, sir, this is how every cover-up starts. But wait, it gets messier. Because Jacob would never agree to helping Joey. Never. Jacob has sacrificed too much. He's emotionally exhausted, physically drained, obsessed with finding the truth, and unlike everyone else, he still actually cares about justice. Maybe too much, honestly. Sometimes I want to shake him and tell him to stop trusting people. So if Vernon makes a move behind Jacob's back, if some secret deal starts happening without Jacob knowing, Jacob is going to be devastated. Again, that man has suffered enough disappointment to last 17 lifetimes. And yet I think the real key here isn't Vernon. It's Elon. Because Elon feels like the bridge between the corruption and the investigation. I can totally see Vernon approaching Elon privately. Maybe not even in some dramatic villain scene either. Honestly, it would be even creepier if it was calm. Quiet, polite, the kind of conversation where rich people destroy justice over expensive whiskey. You know the vibe. And if Vernon offers enough money, enough pressure, enough influence, then suddenly the plasma case gets resolved. Conveniently, neatly wrapped up with a bow. And somehow a new leader of the operation magically appears. Except Jacob won't buy it. That's the thing that makes the storyline hurt so much emotionally. Because Jacob is finally starting to think instead of just react. Thanks to Grayson's information, he already suspects something is wrong with the official narrative. He doesn't believe Leah is the true mastermind. And honestly, neither do I. I think Leah is guilty of things. Absolutely. She's been shady for a long time. Marcel didn't become suspicious for no reason. Leah has been unraveling mentally for weeks now. The lies, the secrecy, the panic, it's all there. But being involved and being the mastermind are two completely different things. And that's where Joey comes in. Because if Joey really is the impaler, oh my God, his motive suddenly becomes terrifying. Think about it. A man this manipulative wouldn't just sacrifice Leah randomly. He'd do it strategically. He'd choose someone vulnerable, someone already under suspicion, someone he can pressure emotionally or psychologically. And Leah is perfect for that. Especially if Joey has leverage over her. That's the part that genuinely makes me uncomfortable because I can absolutely see Leah refusing at first. I can see her panicking, crying, trying to escape the situation. But Joey would destroy her psychologically until she agrees. That man gives me the energy of someone who smiles while ruining your entire life. And if he's the impaler, then every interaction suddenly feels darker in hindsight. Every manipulation, every smirk, every calm conversation, it's actually terrifying. And honestly, if the show reveals Joey as the impaler officially, I need the actors to receive awards immediately because the buildup has been insane. Also, can we talk about how horrifying it would be if Joey lets Leah take the fall while he walks free? Because that would break Jacob emotionally. Again, imagine dedicating everything to this case only to realize the truth got buried by powerful people, that the investigation was corrupted, that justice got bought, that the wrong person confessed. I would lose my mind. And yet, that kind of ending feels painfully realistic for this show. That's why I'm obsessed with this storyline, even when it frustrates me. Beyond the Gates understands that the scariest villains aren't always the loudest ones. Sometimes the scariest people are the ones protected by money, influence, and family connections. And Joey? He's been floating above consequences for way too long. Way too long. Which means either he's about to fall hard, or the show is preparing the most infuriating escape ever. Honestly, I'm scared it's the second one. Because if the plasma case officially closes with Leah taking the blame, Joey survives another day. But Jacob won't stop digging. That's what makes him different from everyone else. Even when he's exhausted. Even when people betray him. Even when the system fails him, he keeps going. And weirdly enough, that's why this next emotional storyline with Naomi might hit me even harder than the crime drama. Yeah, I said it. Because underneath all the conspiracies and murders and manipulation, Jacob is still a husband, still a man who's been away from his family emotionally for so long, and Naomi too. These two have been carrying secrets, fears, loneliness, all while pretending everything is okay. Can we please talk about how heartbreaking that is? I've been waiting forever for them to finally sit down and actually talk, not argue, not hide things, not dodge around emotions. Actually talk. Because Jacob has been consumed by this investigation to the point where it's swallowed his entire life. You can literally feel how distant he's become from the people he loves. And Naomi, Oh my God, Naomi has been holding herself together with pure emotional duct tape at this point. So if the plasma case temporarily cools down, I think Jacob is finally going to realize what he sacrificed personally. And honestly, I need that scene desperately. I need the vulnerability. I need the honesty. I need the emotional breakdown. I need somebody crying. Sorry, I'm invested. And imagine how painful that conversation could become if Naomi realizes Jacob never truly let go of the case mentally. Because even if the investigation is closed, we all know Jacob won't believe it's over. Not after Grayson's evidence. Not after all the inconsistencies. Not after Leah conveniently becomes the scapegoat. Jacob's instincts are screaming that something bigger is hiding underneath all of this. And personally, mine are too. That's why I think this story is entering its most dangerous phase now. Not the violent phase, the psychological phase, the phase where lies become official truths, the phase where innocent people get sacrificed, the phase where powerful families start making desperate decisions to protect themselves. And if Joey truly controls the board the way I think he does, then everyone around him is in danger. Even Vernon, especially Vernon, honestly. Because once you make a deal with someone like Joey, it never ends. Ever. That's the trap. The favor doesn't disappear. The blackmail doesn't disappear. It grows. And if Joey survives this, he owns them completely. Which is why I'm sitting here stressed out over fictional characters. Like this show personally pays my bills. Seriously, does anyone else feel emotionally manipulated by Beyond the Gates lately? Because I swear, every episode leaves me pacing around my room like a conspiracy theorist with red strings on a wall. But I can't stop watching. I don't want to stop watching. Because underneath all the chaos, this storyline is genuinely gripping. The tension feels real. The betrayals hurt. The moral lines are getting blurrier and blurrier. And if the show really goes through with Joey framing Leah while Vernon secretly helps cover it up, oh, this fandom is going to explode.